Now, most people run their quarter a little bit like this. So this is the quarter. We would usually then say, let's have it into 3 months, and it's split through from here. Now, in fact, what most people do is they will go in, they will spend their first month doing the bare minimum because they've had such a big end of first quarter or second quarter or third quarter, but essentially the quarter before. They will then do a little bit more in month 2 because they're getting their energy back and their momentum. And then everything else is required to fall into month 3 as part of that quarter. Now, if we look at the stats, I think they'd say it's 78% of deals are closed in the final month of the quarter. Now, what also happens there is that we see more mistakes, is that we see more things drop out, we see more opportunities slip through, but we also see burnout. We also see that we're trying to run really hard towards the end of that quarter. Now, I work with clients to change their quarter. And so the ideal quarter, according to them now, looks a little bit different. So the goal there then is that we would then try and have our largest month of the quarter in month 1. We would then have a slightly smaller month 2 and then a slightly smaller month 3. So it's the same approach, but just back to front. Now, what then happens then is that let's say this is quarter 1, we then go into quarter 2, ready and raring to go again for month 1. We're not making as many mistakes. We are then pushing more towards having a more even quarter. Because if we can then flatten out that peak and trough that comes with our quarters being so vigorous towards the end, we can start to change the way that our salespeople are working. And the same thing goes if we look across the year. If we look at the month and we look at the quarter, we look at the year. Across the year then, if we then look at our further or future quarters, then the same thing will happen with what's just happened here. Is that we then get down to the 4th quarter and everything's got to try and get into this to make up your annual target, which goes through from here. So essentially what I want you to take away from this is that your quarter does not need to look like it currently does. And the majority of salespeople's quarters and teams look exactly like this. We want to try and get it to a more even point. But the way we need to start doing that is we need to focus on month 1 being our biggest, then slightly smaller for month 2, and then even smaller again for month 3. And what we're doing is we're flipping the way that our salespeople approach. We're flipping the way that we are driving opportunities through our month. And we will start to see a high-performing team as opposed to a highly stressed team at the end of the month.